I have this sneaking suspicion that by going online, the mind starts to believe this thing that's not true, that if we're not online, either posting or looking at what people post or both, that somehow will disappear. And it gets to this idea of the anxiety that one feels when you just go into your own mind and it's chaos in there for so many people. It's like, it's chaos in here, and then just learning to sit with that. I think a lot of people go into the world because the chaos of the world can occupy their attention, and then it's not about the chaos that's in them.
Exactly.
Again, I don't want to demonize online platforms because I use them, I educate on them, I learn from them, and I gain entertainment from them too. But I wonder whether or not the net effect of social media at the internet over the last, let's say, 10 to 15 years has been to trick the mind at an unconscious level into thinking that if we're not on there, we're going to miss out. But it's not FOMO of not, like, we're not going to be included, but that I actually think it may run much deeper than that, that it's that we don't exist, that life is there, and if we're not aware of it, we don't exist. Because I see parents looking at their phones while their kids are running around them. So you can't say, oh, well, this is only, well, if you have kids and you're tending to your kids, and some parents are great parents, but I see a lot of kids that are clearly being, babysat by devices. And the parents will say, listen, it's the only thing that quiets them down and gets them to settle down while I can tend to things. So I can relate. But what do you think about the idea that the internet, while powerful and can be used for great good, may have convinced billions of human minds that they don't exist if they're not observing or engaging on there?
I mean, I think that that's something super important, and I think, with regard to attention, we talk about two big buckets. One is stimulus captured attention, and the folks who design products online have been really good at capturing our attention, and our attention gets hijacked by that, and it leads to the kind of inference that you're talking about, which is that people feel that they may not exist unless they're online. And I read some survey study that was done within the last year that reported that the average American opens their phone 152 times a day. I think most people would agree they don't need to open their phone 152 times a day, but we do it for those kinds of reasons. And I often say we are all part of a grand experiment for which none of us have provided our informed consent. And I think it's serious. And I think that we don't know what the long-term consequences are going to be, but we do know that the short-term consequences, at least in certain cases, are not very good. And I'm someone who is also, like you, Andrew, a great believer in the potential value of technology. And I believe that technology is basically neutral, and we can use it for the good, and it can be used for harm. But the previous Surgeon General of the United States, who I miss, Vivek Murthy, issued a health advisory in 2023 on social media. The title was Social Media and Youth Mental Health. And he has scary data that was reported in that report. Some of the data show that the psychiatric problems in adolescence scale linearly with the hours of social media consumption per day. And so it is really eroding the mental health of our youth, not to say of our adults too.
Yeah, I think a lot of adults now are hitting the black ice of internet use. Just like even among peers of ours, professionals, I mean, it was wild to see how many people who were chairs of departments, brilliant creators, academics, people from all domains of life demolished their careers by getting caught up in stuff online and not being thoughtful about what they were posting. You just go, I can't believe it. I mean, they threw away their professional lives with their thumbs. It was wild, right? If you think about it, and this is happening less nowadays, but just people just nuking their careers that they had spent 20, 30 years building. These were very successful, very smart people, but somehow got caught up in it. We see that less, but I do see a lot of people getting into the whole polarization thing to the point where there really is no common ground online. It's impossible. You can't take a nuanced perspective on something. I try. I said, I thought the new food guidelines could afford to include a few more vegetable suggestions and some fermented foods. And like immediately the fact that I didn't completely attack it, right, was I got attacked for that. But then I got attacked for the other side for not completely embracing it. So it's like you can't win.
Yeah,
you can't win.
Yeah.
But getting offline is not an option. It's not an option. And the younger generation has been very clear with me about that. It is not an option. To not be on social media platforms, to not be texting much of the day, is to not exist in the social milieu. And so how do we reconcile that? Yeah.
So these are really complicated issues. I think that, I certainly don't in any way pretend to have the answer, but I do think that we need to take digital hygiene seriously. And we need to figure out ways of, as part of standard school curricula, of educating our youth in how to change their relationship, or how to be, to say it a different way, how to be in healthy relationship with their digital devices and the products and features that are available on those devices. I have the conviction that it's a trainable skill. But we need, particularly in youth, to start early before they get their first phone.